In January 2026, satellite imagery leaked from the Chengdu aerospace facility revealed a massive tailless airframe that dwarfed every other fighter on the tarmac. Intelligence analysts have nicknamed it the White Whale. It isn't a nimble dogfighter, it is a 55-ton airborne cruiser. It is a purpose-built assassin designed with one mission in mind: to find the F-47's only weakness and exploit it until the US family of systems collapses. Welcome back to Red Phantom. Today, we reveal why the White Whale isn't just a new jet, it's a strategic checkmate. For decades, we've judged fighters by their vertical stabilizers, those twin tails that give the F-22 its iconic look, but tails are a liability in the 2026 stealth environment. They act as corner reflectors for enemy radar. The White Whale is a radical tailless delta wing design. By removing the vertical surfaces, Chengdu has achieved a massive breakthrough, all-aspect low observability. Quantitatively, tailless designs can reduce a jet's radar signature by up to 90% from the side profile. To my fellow gearheads, if the F-47 is a high-tech sports sedan, the White Whale is a purpose-built, top-fuel dragster. What's the difference between a fighter pilot and a jet engine? The engine stops whining once you shut it down. But in the Pacific, with a 55-ton tailless monster closing in on you, that whining might just save you. The US Air Force relies on JADC-2, the idea that the F-47 will manage a hive mind of drones. But that hive mind is tethered to a tanker. Without the KC-46 Pegasus, the F-47 is grounded within 90 minutes. China's White Whale is designed for the tanker hunter Doctrine, while the F-47 has a combat radius of 1,000 miles. The J-36 White Whale is projected to have a staggering combat radius of over 4,000 kilometers, approximately 2,160 nautical miles. More than double the F-47's range. This isn't just a jet, it's an airborne cruiser designed to turn the Western Pacific into a no-fly sanctuary by targeting the logistical spine of the USAF. The Whale uses the PL-17 missile, a 6-meter-long beast designed specifically to kill high-value airborne assets, HVAA-like tankers. Its dual-pulse rocket motor maintains a terminal speed of Mach 4+, while its dual-mode AESA and passive infrared seeker allow it to ignore the F-47's advanced electronic jamming. With a range of 500 kilometers, it can fire from a distance the F-47 isn't even looking at. If the Whale kills the tanker, the F-47 is left with two choices: eject into the Pacific or land on a Chinese-controlled island. That is the checkmate. A jet this large needs a heart that can generate more than just thrust. The White Whale features a unique triple-engine configuration, and world first for a fighter, likely to generate the immense electrical power required for directed energy weapons. The aircraft reportedly uses a derivative of the WS-19 Huangshan engine, which has successfully completed R&D to match the thrust-to-weight ratio of the American F-135 engine. Trying to integrate this level of sixth-generation power into an older airframe is like trying to explain a smartphone to a guy who still has a VCR blinking 12 o'clock in his living room. The J-36 is built to be a flying power plant, generating megawatts of energy to run cognitive electronic warfare suites that can learn enemy jamming patterns in real time. The F-47 is only as dangerous as its network. The White Whale targets that network using passive coherent location, PCL, which detects the shadows left by stealth aircraft as they pass through civilian 5G and 6G signal fields. You know the old saying, the Army sleeps under the stars, the Navy navigates by the stars, and the Air Force chooses hotels by the stars. Well, the F-47 is being built to make sure those hotels stay out of range of China's white whale. But if the whale uses its massive radar, estimated to be triple the size of the F-35's, to jam the drone link, the F-47 pilot is suddenly very alone. The US is currently spending $300 million per F-47 airframe, nearly triple the cost of an F-35. Because the technology is so exquisite, utilizing adaptive cycle engines and advanced AI-driven sensor suites, the Air Force can currently only afford a baseline fleet of roughly 200 aircraft. However, the Mitchell Institute recently warned that the Pentagon is walking into a math death spiral. Their February 2026 report argues the Air Force needs at least 300 F-47s just to maintain parity in a high-attrition Pacific conflict. But with the budget already bleeding, the exquisite path risks creating a fleet that is too small to fail and too expensive to lose. While the US prioritizes perfection, China's industrial base is prioritizing momentum. By early 2026, the J-36 White Whale program has already moved 4 distinct prototypes into flight testing, a development pace that suggests serial production could begin years ahead of Western expectations. Unlike the US defense sector, which is hampered by labor shortages and supply chain fragility, Chengdu Aircraft Corporation utilizes state-controlled manufacturing to bypass traditional profit margin hurdles. Analysts estimate they can produce 3 J-36 for the price of a single F-47. In a sustained campaign, this industrial gap becomes a tactical nightmare. If China can field a 3-to-1 advantage, they don't need a better plane. They only need to saturate the F-47's sensor arrays and exhaust its internal missile bays. The sustainability gap. A single lost F-47 represents 0.5% of the total US 6th-gen fleet. The replacement problem. While the US struggles to replace a silver bullet lost in combat, China's industrial home field advantage allows them to replenish the front lines at a rate the US hasn't seen since the 1940s. The White Whale represents an Airborne Cruiser philosophy, a platform designed for campaign-level operations rather than tactical dogfights. It is the physical manifestation of the quote, "Victory is found in the absence of the enemy's support." While we were arguing over whether the F-22 should be retired, China was calculating the exact speed and range needed to make the F-47's drones irrelevant. They are playing 3D chess while we are still trying to figure out how to pay for the board. So here is the final question for the Red Phantom community. If you were the commander of a Pacific carrier strike group and you knew the White Whale was patrolling the skies with a 4,000-kilometer reach, would you still trust the F-47 to protect your fleet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is Red Phantom. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and think beyond the first strike.